Known for her past works like Mini Motor Racing X and Resist, the Binary Mill has a reputation for delivering solid VR experiences, and Into Black continues that trend. You're immediately thrust into an event horizon sequence that warps both space and time, pulling you into the titular black hole. From the outset, the game feels promising, a slick blend of exploration, resource gathering, and combat on an alien planet teeming with mystery. Yet, as you dive deeper into its dark caverns and sprawling alien cities, the game reveals a duality. It's a technical marvel at first glance, but begins to stumble as you push towards its conclusion. You step into the shoes of Ben Mitchell, a deep space scavenger who, alongside his AI sidekick Jonathan, finds himself on an alien world after being sucked through a wormhole. The central hook of Into Black is simple. Explore, gather resources, upgrade your equipment, fight alien creatures, and try to repair your ship to escape. But this isn't just a solo experience. You can bring along up to 3 friends to take on the campaign in co-op, adding a social dynamic to the core gameplay. The game also offers several different modes. The main campaign propels you through caverns, magma chambers, sunken cities, and more, with Jonathan providing some humor and light commentary throughout the journey. Outside of the campaign, you've got resource gathering missions perfect for players who want to grind without focusing on the story. There's also a PvPvE mode called Singularity, where 12 players battle it out in an ever-shrinking map, hunting for resources while fighting both aliens and each other. On paper, this package is immensely appealing, offering variety, action, and a healthy dose of replayability. The first thing that stands out in Into Black is the fluidity of movement. The Binary Mill's VR pedigree is on full display as you run, jump, and shoot your way through vast and dangerous landscapes. The mechanics feel polished. There's no jitter or clunkiness in how you interact with the world. The controls are intuitive and smooth, making even the most mundane actions like mining for resources feel satisfying. Shooting in Into Black is a real treat. You get an array of weapons. You've got a pistol, you've got a shotgun, an SMG, and even a returning axe that gives off major God of War vibes. The game also doesn't shy away from borrowing mechanics from other iconic games. You've got Gears of War's quick reload system, Super Mario-esque mushroom bouncing, and some clever nods to other classics scattered throughout. That said, the gameplay does start to show cracks. While the shooting feels good, the combat loop does wear thin after prolonged play. Boss fights in particular are disappointingly lackluster. These bullet sponge encounters drag on and don't offer much in the way of tactical depth. You're left dodging various projectiles and pumping rounds into alien statues that are just bullet sponges and don't even have any animation. It's a shame because the game's combat has such potential, but these moments definitely feel undercooked. Graphically, Into the Black is an absolute stunner. The stylized visuals work wonders in VR, especially when combined with the game's fantastic lighting effects. One of the most memorable moments comes early on when you fire a flare into a cavern and watch it illuminate the alien landscape in real time. It's breathtaking. The game's different biomes are varied. Magma chambers, ancient alien ruins, and underwater caverns all offer a sense of discovery that keeps things feeling fresh, at least for a while. However, the longer you play, the more technical issues you encounter. There are bugs, literal and figurative, clipping through walls, getting stuck in the environment, or not reacting properly to the game's physics. I've had moments where a teammate in co-op would suddenly start levitating, or plants would hover slightly above the ground, which chips away at the game's initial immersion. These bugs are jarring, especially when you're playing a game that feels so polished at the start. Audio in Into Black has its highs and lows. The standout here is Jonathan, your trusty AI companion. His witty banter and occasional comic relief do wonders to break up the sometimes bleak atmosphere of the game. Some players online have even confused his voice for that our very own Pete Austin from 60OF. The weapon sound design is punchy and satisfying. Guns sound like they have weight, and the feedback you get when firing is palpable. But the game stumbles when it comes to music. The soundtrack is repetitive, especially during combat encounters where you're fed the same adrenaline-pumping track over and over and over again. This repetitive score feels like a missed opportunity to enhance the emotional beats or dramatic moments in the game. The deeper you get into Black, the more it feels like the game is held together by duct tape. Small issues accumulate, creatures glitch out, environmental elements don't react as they should, and some aspects of the game design feel underdeveloped. The puzzles, for example, could have been a great way to break up the action, but they remain simplistic throughout the entire game. There's no ramp in difficulty, and they often feel more like time fillers than actual brain teasers. Fabricating resources, a crucial aspect of upgrading your gear, quickly becomes an absolute chore. The interface doesn't allow for batch crafting most compounds, and it forces you to sit through the same animation repeatedly for crafting several items of the same type. It's an incredibly tedious process that really grinds down the pace. On the plus side, Into Black offers a lot of content. Between the main campaign, the co-op options, and the PvPvE mode, there's plenty to keep you engaged for dozens of hours. But, as mentioned, the longer you play, the more the game's flaws start to reveal themselves. There's a real sense that the scaffolding holding this experience together could use some more structural support. Into Black starts out like a dream. Fantastic mechanics, gorgeous environments, and charming voice work. The experience is immersive and addictive, sucking you into its alien world with blistering confidence. However, the deeper you go, the more the game starts to feel like it's losing its grip. Bugs, repetitive music, and lackluster boss fights prevent it from achieving greatness. Still, most of these issues, except maybe for the boring boss fights, are fixable. And if the binary mill supports the game with patches, Into Black could easily rise to become a standout in the VR world. If you're seeing this review after those updates, consider it an 8.5 out of 10. For now, however, it's a solid but flawed 7.5 out of 10. So damn close. Anyway, that's it for our review of Into Black. Let us know if you've tried the game or if you've enjoyed it. If you liked this review or found it useful, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.